Hello, and welcome to another edition of Focus. I'm Vernon Bolling. Flavors of ethnic cooking. Haven't done a new one in a while, so here we are. We're at my main man's house, Lonnie Williams, and as always, thank you, Lonnie, for allowing us to come in and do the kitchen. And today what we decided we were going to do is we wanted to show you how you can have an economical meal as well as a healthy meal. And we're calling this our canned meal. And the reason we're doing that is because we're doing red sockeye salmon. And I show you the back of the can because we're not trying to press any, we're not trying to let you know what brand to buy, because you can buy any brand you want. And we're doing string beans. We're doing French cut. I like French cut. Most people will eat the regular cut. And we're just trying to show you that if you go out, I think this meal could feed about 4. Maybe you have to put another can of string beans in there. But the salmon definitely can feed 4. And the point we're trying to make is you can take your family, determining to the size of your family, and instead of going to a fast food restaurant on a Friday or a Saturday or whenever, it's quick, it's easy, and it's very inexpensive. So we put a price tag down and said, well, what about $20? I think $20 would feed in a fast food place.
You barely would get out of there for 4 with $20.
Okay,
but you get out of there with a lot of sugar and salt.
A lot of sodium, right? Yeah. Right. So we're gonna tell you different things that you can substitute for that doesn't call for some of the recipes. But the whole idea today is we're gonna have salmon croquettes. You look in a cookbook, it might say salmon croquettes. It might say a different type of salmon. I know they make salmon rolls, but we're making the croquette. We're calling it croquette. We're doing string beans as well as Lonnie has a rice down there. And we'll tell you a little bit about the rice. So basically the best thing for me to tell you to do is get the pencil, get the paper, because at the end, Tony's gonna put up on the screen the ingredients we use, everything we use, and of course there's things you can substitute. So don't touch that down. We're gonna be right back with more of the flavors of ethnic cooking right here on Focus after these messages.
Here at the Audubon Center, we connect inner city children with nature.
Before I came to Audubon, I didn't think about the environment.
I see children discovering a universe that wasn't available to them if the center wasn't here.
This place teaches you so much. If there wasn't a place like this, I think a lot of people would be missing out.
We count on the lottery to help us fund our programs for K-12 students. We need more friends like the lottery in the community.
Welcome back to Focus, the flavors of ethnic cooking. I'm just over here just chopping up some onions. I know a lot of folks out there have a chopper, but we decided to just go ahead and just show you how fast you can do this if you don't have a chopper, how we're chopping up onions. And this onion we're going to be using for the string beans as well as the rice. And as I said to you in the beginning of the show, we're going to use certain ingredients, so we're going to just knock it up a little bit and use some things that it may not call for, but that's up to you. You can make it Cajun. You can add some Cajun food in there if you want, spices in there if you want. This determines, what your ethnic background is or what you'd like to put in there. So I'm going to give these to Lonnie. I've already cut up a half, and the recipes call for 2 medium-sized onions, but these are kind of big. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you that, and I think that's more than enough for Lonnie. Is this more than enough? Of course,
That other one you can use for
my cohort over here, Lonnie Williams. We're at his house. He's going to talk a little bit about what he's doing, and I'm going to continue to cut my onions. And did you need any garlic?
I do need garlic.
Okay.
One of the keys to convincing people to cook instead of going to fast food is time. And we have figured out that this can be done in about 30 minutes. So, no drive-through, no nothing. But what I've done is I put my heat on a skillet. And we're going to do not rice, but rice and quinoa. And this is a grain, and it's brown rice. And it's good, and it's going to be even better once we kind of kick it up. And what we do is we just start it with a little olive oil, very little. And one of the keys is you want your olive oil to get at least warm.
And make sure you tell them about using olive oil opposed to the other type of oil.
Like Crisco.
Like Crisco.
Any kind of oil, olive oil, vegetable is okay. Even coconut is even better. It's more expensive. Peanut oil, but olive oil will work. And again, I'm putting in just a few onions, not a whole bunch. And you start with your onions, and you want to get your onions basically heated up, translucent is the kind of color you want. You always start with the onions because garlic takes very little time to cook.
Okay.
So you never want to put your garlic in at the same time as your onions.
And you should only cook your garlic for, maybe a couple of minutes.
Right, because once we do that, this is sort of what I call our little base to, as you said, kick it up.
Right. Well, Lonnie's doing that. I want to just show you and talk to you about this. You may not know what this is, because I certainly didn't until Lonnie introduced it to me. This is a garlic peeler. So I thought it was neat, and I just like to, you just take them, separate them from the clove. I hope this does it as well as you did it, Lonnie.
Yeah.
You put it in here, and and these things, I'm pretty sure you could just go online and say, I want to get a garlic, what would you call it? Garlic roller. Yeah. Okay, roll them, I can hear them. Look at that. I got to tell you, the shell's right off of them. Well, there's a little bit of shell, but that's okay. The rest of them, the shell, no shell. Now that's worth the couple of bucks, whatever they call it.
They're not expensive.
They're not expensive. I'm going to run out and buy me one of those guys. Yeah,
Okay.
that's great.
Well, you're getting me a garlic or two. What I do, once the onions get a little translucent, they've changed color. And again, we're trying to kick this up a little bit. I use chicken stock. Okay?
Use that
Just
chicken stock.
basic
That's right.
chicken stock. And again, depending on how much you're going to make and depending on the size of your family, you just want to get the bottom kind of coated.
Excuse me, Lonnie, do you want me to chop the garlic up or give it to you whole?
I
Okay.
only need a couple, one or two for this person. And you can see my stove's hot now.
Okay.
Probably about a little over a half a cup I'm using. And again, it's going to help cook the onions a little bit. And it'll be our base. Then I'm just going to add some pepper. And if you like any other seasonings, you can do that. Now, Vernon, you didn't talk about this, but basically, this is rice that cooks relatively quickly. Mm-hmm. It is brown rice because we're trying to be somewhat healthy. And this kind of rice in a bag, you can usually find in most stores, and it's going to be under $2, maybe $3, okay? This will feed a family of 4. And again, one of the keys to cooking brown rice, which is problematic, is it takes so long. So this solves that problem. And we've added the quinoa to make it even more healthy. And it comes out in a bag. And all you gotta do, you wanna make sure you get everything out. And now all you wanna do is chop it up.
Here's a little garlic.
Yes.
Three cloves.
Okay, then I'll just take some of them.
Okay.
And I'm adding them in. Again, this is all a matter of just seasoning.
You want another couple, or is that it?
No, I can use a few
You can
more.
use a few more. Garlic's good for
I'm
you.
going to use the rest of them for the beans.
Okay, well, I'm going to just go
And
ahead.
I'm going to add a little bit more, once I get them chopped up, I'm going to add a little bit more liquid so that there's liquid at the bottom. And then I'm just going to let these simmer very slowly and let this good chicken stock and the seasoning sort of permeate this grain. And you can see the brown rice. You see the dark. That's the grain that's in there. And it's very, very healthy. And again, with the seasoning, garlic and onions. It is very good. I actually had Vernon and his lovely wife over for dinner, and we tried it.
It was very
And we were both sort of surprised.
It was very good.
Yeah.
It was very, was it?
So-
I know you usually have Uncle Ben or something like that.
Yeah, that's my real uncle. A little bit more, and basically we're done with the rice. We're just gonna let it cook as we deal with, I'm gonna turn it down, as we deal with the other items. And should I start the salmon?
I tell you what, I'm just going to let everybody know. I tell you what, is it a good time to take a break? I guess we could take a break. Flavors of ethnic cooking, we're doing salmon croquettes, string beans. Lonnie just finished telling you a little bit about the rice. We're using a little rice, and one of his words is we're gonna kick it up a little bit. But don't touch that remote. We're gonna be right back after these messages when Focus Flavors of Ethnic Cooking continues.
My name is Jay Rominger, and I'm a CASA volunteer here in the state of Arizona.
Jay has helped me in every part of my life.
CASA is a court-appointed special advocate. You advocate for children who have no one else to speak for them in court.
He's one of my top friends in the world.
He wants a family. He wants to be adopted. He wants a mom and a dad and normality.
It's really because of the Arizona Lottery funding that we are able to serve these children that need a voice, that need a Jay in their life.
Welcome back to the Flavors of Ethnic Cooking with Focus. I'm Vernon L. Bolling. That's Lonnie Williams. We're getting ready to do a little string beans. So I'm gonna saute my onions in a skillet. And we are dealing with clean hands because we always make sure we wash our hands prior to cooking. And the garlic. And once again, you can use as much or as little garlic and onions as you like, but we're gonna get them sauteed a little bit. And I'm gonna just put them right there, and a little dash of olive oil.
All right.
Virgin olive oil. And we've got the them cooking. Now we're gonna go to the main dish,
Yep.
and that's going to be the salmon croquettes, and I'm going to let Lonnie take care of that.
First of all, this calls for 2 eggs. And when you're dealing with eggs that you're going to put in something, it's better to mix them before you put them in. That way you know you're going to have them fully mixed and there's not going to be an issue. So I'm just going to shake those up. And then I have drained this salmon that came in the can because you don't want all that oil and things. And there's a lot of salt in there. So I'm going to just put in, I still have some oil, and I'm going to break this up.
Now, you don't
skin
take the bones out.
Nope.
Okay,
The
fine.
bones are small enough that in the
And soft enough.
yeah, in the cake or croquet, they're not going to have any. And I just use a fork, and you just want to get them small size, and you can tell they're all mixed up. And now, what you're going to do is you're going to start putting some things. And Vernon, if you can you hand me that lemon juice?
Certainly can.
I'm putting the eggs in, 2 eggs. I'm putting about a medium onion.
And once again,
Chopped.
the lemon juice is kind of those optional things. We both like lemon juice, and I just think it's a fish, and
This is,
I
yeah,
like it.
this is 2 lemons.
2
I'm going
small
to use
lemons.
about half of it. Nah, I'll use it all.
Okay. Now,
And-
just to let everybody know, Tony, I'm putting in my string beans.
that have been sauteed in onions and garlic.
Right, and you want to make sure that your garlic doesn't cook too long because it will definitely
Yeah.
burn. So
And you might want to hit it with just a little pepper.
And I'll put a little pepper in there.
Now, the last thing we have to this, not the last thing, but we have about a half cup of cornmeal, yellow, white, whatever you like. And because Vernon likes Cajun, I got some Cajun spice, and again, maybe a tablespoon or less, and obey, which goes with any fish. And I'm just going to do about a teaspoon, because it's very strong.
Yes.
Now, there's no way to do this other than, and I washed my hands before, but there's no way to do this.
No, you have to do it with,
other than
it's like making a
with your hand.
hamburger patty. You just have to do it with your hands.
And you gotta mix it up, and you gotta mix it up thoroughly because it cooks pretty quick. And this even smells good.
Putting a little pepper in.
Yeah, you may want to turn that heat down too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Once you get your string beans going like that, you know you're gonna have them warm and cooked through, so you can just turn it down and do what we did with the rice. Okay. Now, Vernon, I've mixed this. So I take it you're gonna form the patty.
No, you're gonna form a patty since you've already mixed it.
So cut the oven on for me, the center aisle,
Okay.
and load it up, not load it up, but put quite a bit, you know, of the olive oil in it. And you want to start it off pretty high and we'll back it off.
Okay.
There you go.
I think that's about right.
Yeah. We got a big pan there, and depending on what pan you want, you know, you just gotta use your judgment. And you can always add more, but you just want to coat it.
Yeah. As you can see, I'm not gonna use too much because you can always add more.
Now, how thick you want these? Thicker than this?
I'd say a little thicker than that.
And now you're making hamburgers. That's
Not
all.
much thicker.
Yeah. Now you're making hamburgers.
And once again, that's why I was telling you that you're gonna have about 6 patties out of that.
Right.
That's why.
And you don't want your oven too hot, but you do want it started and ready to go. And what I don't like to put these down because they're hard to pick back up. So I just lay them right in, excuse me.
Mm-hmm, sure. Go right
I
ahead.
lay them right in.
And the pan probably could have been just a tad bit hotter, but
You usually want to hear a little sizzle.
right, you want to hear a little sizzle, so just a little bit. I'll let it touch the bottom of the pan. It'll start sizzling, and we're gonna cook those for about, I'd say, about 3 to 4 minutes per side.
Yep.
Per side. Let me just see. I got my string beans here. They're simmering in the onions and the garlic.
There's no way around this, but this is a messy job.
No, you have to.
See
now
how
you,
that?
Now
Yeah.
now you can hear the sizzle.
Right, that's exactly the way you want it. And then when you're cooking, especially when you're trying to get it done, you just ignore the phone.
Yes, you do.
You just ignore the phone.
But you know, it's okay because people will call you. And,
I think we're going to end up with 5.
yeah.
Could have done 6, but
Well, that's-
again, we weren't worried about it.
No, I knew we'd get that much out of it.
I'm going to reach over you again.
Yeah, and that was just one can. That was just one can. It is a 14 3/4 ounce can.
How much did that cost? For
Sockeye salmon.
Give-
I think it's about $6.50.
Okay.
And this
So-
sockeye, I get the sockeye. I just want to let you know I get the sockeye. It
with
has
the
much better.
string beans, the rice, we're way under $20,
We're way
including
under.
the onions and the eggs, which,
Yeah.
you know, most people will have the eggs, but
And you've okay, you've used all your onions. Okay, so you got 5 patties exactly in there, and that's and once again, now don't forget you're not making a hamburger. So some people might say, well, that's kind of thin, but you're not making a hamburger.
and again, we got to keep in mind the purpose. Is
And
we
you
don't-
got to.
And you know, you can actually plan this out if you sit down on Sunday. And what I would recommend is keep the Wednesday paper that has all the ads.
Get the sales.
And then on Sunday, sort of look at what you can get, plan it out, and you can always, have fish a day or two, chicken another day, maybe, splurge and have meat or pork another day, and you got your 5 days planned out. And you can mix these with any other kind of vegetables you want.
Oh, absolutely.
You can kick them up. You can
And let me
mix this up and have maybe some potatoes of certain kind.
and let me
one day.
just tell you this. This is 1 can of string beans. And one of the things I learned, I used to buy store brands, and it was mainly made up of liquids. If you buy a brand, a different, and the different brands that they have, they've got quite a few of them out there, you get a lot more of the vegetables. You get a lot more. So that's why I went back to using brands and got away from the store brand on the vegetables. Now, other things you can use a store brand and you don't have to worry about it. And now it's up to your liking, because don't forget, the other great thing about salmon, you can almost make it like tuna fish. You can, because it's already done, and you can put a little mayo in it, onions, garlic, like we did, and we didn't put the mayo in it, but you could put mayonnaise in it.
That's a good point, because most recipes you're going to find
Calls.
do call for mayo. If you really want something else, which you don't need, try light yogurt. Maybe put a little of
Put a
that
little
in.
yogurt. That's
quite frankly, just get away from the mayo.
Yeah.
There's just no upside.
Right, but they use that. But you'll see a lot of people will go to their recipe book and they'll see a lot of mayo in it. But anyway, we have our rice, we have our salmon croquettes, we have our string beans.
Look at that.
And we're going to take a quick break. That looks nice. We're
Yeah.
going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to, we always say, hey, it's in the taste. We got to test it. We'll be right back with more Focus right after these messages.
One thing you got to learn when you're a rancher, leave it better for the next generation. I'm Jim Ohako. I'm a rancher at a place called Shovelin Butte.
Arizona Game and Fish has been working with Jim Ohako to maintain and enhance wildlife habitat. Without the lottery, we couldn't do the work we're doing, and we couldn't make the efforts that we are right now.
This ranch is like a family member. It's just part of us. And I think through these projects that we've done, it is better. It's a win-win situation. We're improving the habitat for everything for future generations.
Here at the Audubon Center, we connect inner-city children with nature.
Before I came to Audubon, I didn't think about the environment.
I see children discovering a universe that wasn't available to them if the center wasn't here.
This place teaches you so much. If there wasn't a place like this, I think a lot of people would be missing out.
We count on the lottery to help us fund our programs for K-12 students. We need more friends like the lottery in the community.
Welcome back to Focus. Salmon croquettes. Okay. A little bit of rice on it here. Now, I'm sorry, what's the name of this rice again?
Brown rice.
Onion, Kiana, and brown rice.
Quinoa. Yeah, and we've spiced it up with onions and garlic.
Okay.
And we've made enough for 3 or 4, but we're actually gonna save something for our sound cameraman. Maybe
We're gonna save a little bit for our cameraman if he acts right, which he always does.
Watch your fingers, 'cause
Yeah.
it's hot. Oh, you want more?
Yes, I
Okay,
do.
okay.
Thank you very much.
Since
there's only 3 of us
We'll
here.
just take Tony's.
No, we don't have to take Tony's. I can give him some of mine.
No, we don't. Okay, we're
That's
good.
enough for you. And you saved a little lemon juice. Am I correct?
I did.
Because I like a little lemon juice on mine, and there's
And we
people-
can actually, in fact, we don't even need to do that because we'll just. That's the benefit of having a lemon tree.
Well, that is the benefit of having a lemon tree, so I won't discuss that.
I'll give you your own little slice.
Little slice of heaven. Okay.
Yeah. Oops. And
You just keep getting caught with that.
I know.
Right, boy, I'm telling you. Let me just show it to you there. Okay. Good job. Good job.
little brown, little
I'll let you taste it first, and if you don't fall off the chair, then I know we're in good shape. I'm gonna put a little.
You can tell the onions, you can tell the garlic and the rice, and I really believe you'll find most kids like this. But if they don't, sometimes you just gotta get them to the point of eating.
If they don't like it, then
healthy.
you put a little in their food, and you just say, "Eat what I gave you." That's all. That's my father used to do to me. You just eat what I've given you, and then we won't cook it anymore. Let's see.
But this
is the croquet.
We've actually cooked this almost completely on the air, so we're talking about 30 minutes.
30 minutes on the air.
You didn't have to drive through.
Under 20.
Yeah, under 20
Way
bucks.
under 20.
And you can mix this up with the whole concept.
People find that rice. This rice, because I'm very particular in things I eat, but this is good rice. Very good, very good.
Salmon has a texture. You don't taste the onions, but you know they're there.
Yeah.
The bones aren't a problem.
Bones are soft, and matter of fact, if you don't tell the kids there are bones in them, they'll never know. That's one of the things.
And the string beans, again,
and
have a different taste.
you can substitute string beans with another vegetable if you like, broccoli,
spinach. You can even find, it's hard to find, you can actually find greens in a can.
That's true.
And again, onions, garlic, seasoning of all kind, whatever you like, changes the flavor. And you think it's canned, but it really isn't. In fact, years ago when I was single, I used to do cans, but you get rid of the cans before your date would come over and act like you actually cooked from scratch.
Just ignore that, please, ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, ignore
But
that
I think
statement.
I got it from you.
No, you didn't get that from me. We want to thank you for joining us this week on Focus. As always, we want to thank Lonnie for allowing us to come into his house and mess up his kitchen, which we'll clean up. And you can watch us on Facebook. Please don't forget that. But join us next time, same station, same time. May not be the same place when Focus continues.